This coming weekend, Ellis Park, can the Boks do it?
I think they can. I'm a little disappointed that there's now nothing at stake in terms of the title, because if South Africa, you never want to devalue any test match, but if South Africa win this one, yes, in New Zealand, their media, perhaps even some members of their squad will be saying, well, the tournament, the trophy was already in the cabinet. Okay, we lost a game at the death. I'm not saying South Africa will beat New Zealand, because of course New Zealand might now play quite a relaxed brand of rugby, and a relaxed New Zealand side can mean a very dangerous New Zealand side. They've shown before that they're perfectly happy to play on the high felt, fast pitch, high bouncing ball, no problem for them. So it's a Springbok victory, certainly not cut and dried. But of course, I made the point at the weekend that there will be desperation on the Bok side. They will want to get that first win in 6 attempts under Heineke Meyer's coaching tutelage. They need to finally get that New Zealand scalp. So the Boks will be highly motivated for the game, make no mistake. But it is still a little bit sad that there's nothing at stake from a championship point of view.
Robbie, you say there's nothing to play for in terms of world rugby. I know that everyone would love to see the All Blacks sort of winning streak come to an end.
Yes, there is that long, run of unbeaten games. Let's not forget they've drawn with the Wallabies earlier this season. So there's that little sort of little blot on the copybook, if you like. But the rest of the world is probably desperate to see them eventually knocked over. Again, I have to say sadly that there is also a belief in New Zealand that maybe a defeat wouldn't be the worst thing, because a defeat means almost a little bit of a reality check, a little bit of a flush out, a little bit of a chance to reassess, to sort of freshen up again, and that will just make them even more dangerous. But yes, if you speak to your average Springbok supporter, especially in Johannesburg in this lead-up week, there will be a mood of desperation. It is vital for South Africa to finally prove that they can not just compete with New Zealand. We've often shown that we can compete with them, but just not quite have that tactical nous or temperament to just be able to get past the posts. And we saw that again happen in Wellington this year, sadly, when the Boks did come so close to victory and just lacked the composure to pull it off. So hopefully that doesn't happen all over again. There is still a little bit at stake, because the Boks still there's still that outside chance that Australia can, I think, mathematically still nip in for second, but highly unlikely. They're going to have to absolutely thrash Argentina away with a full house, and the Springboks get absolutely nothing and get absolutely thrashed by the All Blacks to be knocked out of second. So that's probably not an issue, but just mathematically I think it is still a little bit of a factor. But I don't think we need to concern ourselves too much with it. I just hope we get a good game of rugby, because the scene is set now for what just could be a classical, almost call it a once-off test match if you like. Forget the championship now, but just a classical once-off test match, the might of New Zealand versus the might of the Springboks at Ellis Park. It's still a mightily attractive prospect.
And apart from injuries, do you foresee any personnel changes, from both sides? I think the All Blacks are just it's just Retallick they're worried about.
Yes, Retallick took a knock, and they're worried about him. Perhaps he's in the same boat as someone like Brian Habana, who's had there was a concussion issue from Saturday. Of course, if Brian Habana can't play, JP Peterson can slot in very smoothly into his wing position. So I don't think there's any major sweat there. The Boks obviously. I still think that if there's a vacancy at number 8 because of Dwayne Vermeulen's rib injury, then Skalkberger just seems such a natural fit. He played, I think, 18 of the 25 minutes or so that he got against the All Blacks, against the Wallabies, at number 8, and did fantastically well. He's far more versatile than people give him credit for, and I think he's the perfect fit at 8. So it would also cause minimum disruption to the loose trio, because you could potentially then still have Marcel Coetzee as your open sider, and perhaps give another start to Oupa Mahoje, and hope that he sort of grows into his own as a test starter.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
No probs.
Well, don't forget to check in on Sports 24 for all your latest sports news, and I'll be keeping you updated throughout the week with various guests and analysis.